thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
This is a Watchman for Zion recording.
The Sealed Book of Mormon, also known as the Sealed Book of Moses, translated from the Plates of Mormon.
Chapter 2. Hilkiah, the high priest, was appointed to the restoration of the temple by Josiah, king of Judah, in the days of Shaphan, the scribe, secretary, and Sophron of all the languages that were around the land of Israel, the son of Azalias, and the father Ahikam, Eliasah, which was later called by God by the name of Lehi, short for Eliasib, meaning through whom God restores, and Jeremiah and Jezaniah. During the restoration of the temple, Hilkiah finds the own book of the law of Jehovah, and together a scroll sealed by the signet ring of Moses himself, hidden under the ark in the temple day by the first Levite. Hilkiah delivers both the book he found to Shaphan, who reads the sealed manuscript to the king. Upon hearing the reading of the book, King Josiah rends his garments because of the abomination foretold in his record, which for fear that one of them would occur in this day, he sends to Hodiah, the prophetess, master of the school of prophets, a delegation led by the high priest Hilkiah, to inquire of the Lord in the king's name concerning the prophecies predicted from beginning to the end of all things concerning this world, found in that record which was sealed, if one of them was destined to happen in his day. And it came to pass in the 18th year of the reign of Josiah, king of Judah, that Hilkiah the high priest, the son of Shallum, and the father Azariah, began the reformation of the temple under the command of the king. In the course of these days, King Josiah sent Shaphan, the son of Azalias, the son of Meshullam, to the house of the Lord, saying, Go to Hilkiah the high priest, to gather all the money from his hand which the people brought into the house of the Lord, and take charge of delivering into the hands of the masters of work, so that they distribute it to the workers in charge, to the carpenters, and to the builders, and to the masons, and that we may buy timber and hewn stones to prepare the house of the Lord our God, as it is commanded by the king of Judah. It happened then that the king's company came to the temple, supervised by Shaphan, the father of Lehi, whom the high priest Hilkiah said, See, I found the book of the law of Moses in the house of the Lord. For how much is together to him? A part of parchment that remains sealed by Moses' own ring of seal. And Hilkiah gave the book of Shaphan, for that he himself might research, and for a period of time of 3 days thereafter, stopped only to eat and rest, he read them all completely. It occurred after this, that Shaphan hastened to stand before the king, first exposing to Josiah the answer regarding the expenses, taxes concerning the restoration of the temple, saying, Your servants gathered the money that was asked of the people, and delivered it into the hand of those who have positions of supervision in the work, which are in charge of the restoration of the house of the Lord. It happened then that Shaphan the scribe told the king that Hilkiah the high priest delivered into his hand the lost book of Moses. And so he read it before the king, pausing and reasoning with him through what they understood of the writing they had of Moses and the prophets, and did so for days thereafter until they had finished reading in their entirety. And it happened that when the king heard the words of the book of the law, and subsequently as regarding the sealed part of the manuscript of Moses, he tore his own garments, because among them were prophecies foretold by the Lord to Moses concerning all things related to the priesthood of the Son of God, and the consequences that fall upon the people of the covenant whenever the elders of the house of Israel disrespect their investors to the priestly position. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest after the house of Aaron, and Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Achbor the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan the scribe of the king, and Uzziah the king's servant, saying, Since not we have a priest in our midst according to the order of Melchizedek, go ye even to Hodiah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the man of the cleaning of the garments of the temple, and inquire of the Lord for me, and for the people, and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that was found. For great is the wrath of Jehovah which is kindled against us. But how much our fathers did not heed the law of the Lord concerning the covenants, received in the most holy order of the priesthood of God, the order of his Son, whose image it reflect among his elect on earth, is in the order of the priesthood of Melchizedek, or to do according to all that is written in the book sealed of the law of Moses, in regard to their higher priesthood, so that we may be ready to receive it, and to say, so that it may remain with us, that we are children of the covenant, and not only among the prophets, appointed directly by God, but that every man of the house of Judah find yourself worthy to report it. It happened then that the high priest of Hilkiah, proceeding from the house of Aaron, together with Ahikam and Achbor, Shaphan and Uzziah, they went to Hodiah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikvah, the son of Haras, whose lineage was in designating of supervising the ones in charge of the garments of the Levites. And Yor-he house was in the second part of the city, between the streets, that was designated to the washers and dryers of the priestly garment. It happened then that when they told Hodiah these things, she said to them, Thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, Tell the man that hath sent you unto me, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, upon the inhabitants thereof, to know all the words of the book that were read to the king of Judah. For how much they have forsaken me, and have burned incense to other gods, they provoked me, the Lord, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of the slaves, to make them a strong and mighty nation among the sons of men. For how much they were faithful to my laws, which in the days of old I gave the house of Israel. But now, behold, my wrath is kindled because all the works of your hands, and my wrath is kindled against this place, as it like never before, and it shall not be quenched until every nation is scattered unto the four corners of the earth. Nonetheless, so shall ye say to the king of Judah, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, concerning the words which thou hast heard, for how much your heart was tender and humble before the Lord your God when you heard the account of my servant Moses, and foresaw all things concerning the world and its inhabitants in a single instant, and can record the things that were to come to take place against this place, because they do not endure the most holy order of my priesthood, which is according to the order of my Son. For how much was taken from you from the days of Moses, my chosen servant, and they sought him no more in his manner of life, excepting with haughtiness a minor priesthood in relation to the things that I had reserved for them, but they have not been able to endure them to this day. These are the days when I lift up my hand against its inhabitants, that there may be desolation and cursing among them that profess to be my priests in the land which I have assigned to your ancestors. For as for thee, O King of Judah, for how much you have ripped your garments, and you cry before of me the Lord, that also I will not abandon you completely. And behold, I, the Lord, will gather to you your ancestors, and thou shalt be brought to the grave in peace, and that I shall not see all the evil that I will bring upon this place.
This is a Watchman for Zion recording.